Thinking about getting into inking space and you're looking at the ReMarkable and you're determining should you get the ReMarkable Paper Pro, which is the newly released device, or should you look at the ReMarkable 2, which has been out for a number of years. Today we're going to uncover which device is best for you. One thing I do want to highlight, one thing that ReMarkable does offer is a 100-day return guarantee. So if you're unsure which device to get, you could go ahead and pick up both of them, try them out for 100 days, and return them risk-free. Now, as we dive into these, I want you to understand that the device on my left is the ReMarkable 2, and it's priced at just about $400, versus the newly released ReMarkable Paper Pro is priced at $579. This does include a marker, but it doesn't include any additional portfolios or type portfolio cases. Just the device and the standard marker alone. If you want to upgrade the marker as well, there's additional costs for that. First and foremost, let's talk about the actual form factor of the device. When I look at the original R2, you're going to see the device itself is very thin, very lightweight, and is traditionally smaller than the new release Paper Pro. Now, when I look at this device compared to the new design Paper Pro, just top-down feature alone, you're going to notice that there's a little bit more thickness. Now, at first I thought this would add some weight, but due to the increased size when it sits in my lap, definitely doesn't notice it. It's very distributed across the weight of the device. And when it comes to utilizing the overall tablet itself, the bezel lines themselves between the RM2 and the Paper Pro are almost identical. Matter of fact, the large bezel on the bottom is almost exactly the same size. Now, one thing we did lose, a lot of people used to think that this two-tone was part of the casing itself. That's actually part of the device. And you can see in the Paper Pro, we no longer have that bezeling there, and we just have the actual white screen space and the screen itself. So you do pick up a little bit more screen to size ratio with the Paper Pro, but with the R2, you still have a very comparable size space. Now, some of the big features that came with this, obviously the Pro model, this Paper Pro model, is going to have some newer features because it is the new flagship device. A couple of those features beyond just the size of the screen is this is offered in color. We have the ability to use highlighting tools and even see color PDF files. So if you're marking up, say, a PowerPoint presentation or a graph that has color, you're going to be able to see that easier on your Paper Pro. You're still able to see the grayscale shades on the RM2, but the Paper Pro in that colors adds a big feature. And for digital planners, being able to use the Paper Pro and have color highlighting is huge, especially those that benefit from color blocking. For me, I like to use yellow as a means of scheduling personal time for myself. Orange is dedicated meetings, versus pink is things that are related to my family. Now, I still have that ability to use the highlighter, but the contrast that you see is not near the contrast that comes in color. Now, on both devices, what's really cool about ReMarkable and the new updates that they've made, that I can now pair multiple ReMarkable devices to my same account. So if I make an annotation here, I can allow that to sync over to here. And if it's highlighted in color here, it'll still highlight here, but on the cloud version or the app version of the device, I can see those highlights. So that is really awesome that we can do that. And if you are someone that is currently using ReMarkable 1 or ReMarkable 2 and you're thinking about getting the Paper Pro, or you have it on order, well, I'll tell you, it's seamless to go ahead and pair this device, and then all your notes and annotations will come down to it from the cloud. Awesome experience there. There's not a lot of work that has to be done to bring this device online. So the first thing is to consider in this is the actual size and some of the hardware benefits. Obviously, size is big. Color is another big thing. And the last hardware device that comes to this device is the ability to have that backlit screen. Now, that is huge if you were going to be someone that's going to be taking notes in low lit spaces. But if you're at your desk or taking them in a well lit lecture hall, the RM2 is going to be perfect for doing that. The contrast is great. There isn't a lot of glare across either of these devices, especially when you have a top-down light. You can kind of see from what we're doing here, as we increase the intensity of the light, we still have a pretty good form factor of color that's present, and it doesn't get washed out. But in low light situations, as we've illustrated with other e-ink devices, having a backlit display is huge, and this upgrade to the Paper Pro is an awesome feature and one you may want to consider. But what about the actual writing experience itself? When they came out with the Paper Pro, they had to introduce a new technology to bring color to life. And they did that. And probably the biggest and notable thing that I've seen is the actual pens themselves. They look traditionally about the same. And this is the plus version of this pen. It's not the standard marker version. But the one thing you'll notice when you put this one on the device, it'll actually charge. The pen itself has to be charged to be able to use, versus this stylus can be easily written just by utilizing the device. Now, when I go ahead and I write on either one of these devices, I feel there's a little bit more friction on the Paper Pro than there is on the RM2, but I feel like the ink on the RM2 is a little softer. It seems a little smoother, but I also notice that the responsiveness is a lot faster on the Paper Pro. It seems like there's almost no lag and just a little bit of lag here. Now the refresh screen overall is a lot faster, and that could help illustrate that. So when it comes to being able to navigate throughout the system of using a paper planner, you're going to find that the Paper Pro is going to bring a little bit faster navigation process than what you would see on RM2. But for the most part, it's not a huge noticeable difference if you haven't seen the speed increases of the Paper Pro. So don't let that be a real factor to deter you away from the RM2. I believe both of these devices do a really good job of navigating PDFs and even navigating throughout the system. One thing that I will tell you is big is the actual type. When I pull up the type here, I can go ahead and type on this screen. I can hit the type tool and I can go type on the screen. Now with the device, if you did not get the keyboard portfolio, you can still go ahead and type on the screen. And you're going to see that you have this keyboard that comes up. And I'm going to pull up the same one here, just so we have that. Edit text. Now I'm going to go ahead and write. First, I'm going to do the same thing over here. I personally feel the responsiveness on the Paper Pro when it comes to using the onboard keyboard is just a hair faster. When I zoom in on both of these devices, the quality and texture of the device, I feel like there's a little bit more pixelation and grain in the R2, but the Pro itself seems very sharp. You're going to notice that there's a little bit of a color hue with that backlit display on or off. I feel that neither one really takes away from the device itself. Sometimes this has to refresh a little more frequently to keep the device up to date than what you would see on the Paper Pro. But for the most part, the quality of the screen displays and how much grain or how much pixelation really isn't noticeable. So once again, that's not something that would deter me from using one device versus the other device. The true intention of these devices is to be a distraction-free note-taking device. And they made that very clear even when they released the Paper Pro, as they did when they originally released the RM2, and they still have that feature. It's still a quality of the ReMarkable, and that is what the ReMarkable is all about. Having a digital presence where you can take handwritten notes and be able to synchronize and save those notes without having stacks of notebooks. And either device, if that's what you're looking to accomplish, is going to fit your needs. And when you embrace the qualities of the ReMarkable and the distraction-free device that it is, and incorporate a paper-like planner like the Key to Success Planner, you're going to have that distraction-free environment, but now you have a planner that's going to help you take your vision, your thoughts and ideas, and bring them down on paper so that you can develop action steps to really help enhance your plans to reach those goals that you want. Now, if you're looking at our planner and you want to learn more about that, go ahead and check out the link in the description. We have 4 different editions, everything from a personal, professional, business, and executive edition. The editions are designed to fit where you are in life. If it be someone that is in retirement or has work and family that you want to balance, the personal edition is going to help you achieve that. If you're growing your profession and you're tracking meetings and projects, the professional is going to best suit you. But if you're someone that is organizing a business, starting from the ground up, or expanding a department, or bringing new products and services to life, our business planner has our business organizational operating system and is really going to help you hone in on not only the goals you have this year, but help you develop a plan over the next 2 to 3 years. And the executive planner includes a 30-minute session with me so we can talk about your objectives, but more importantly, it has that team builder. When you start to build your bench in your organization and bring people into the folds, you're going to find great results. And when you take that alongside our business organization system and help others build on the principles that you have for the goals of your team, you're going to see monumental results. And when we look at this on the ReMarkable, being able to have that all in front of us and being able to take those notes and really focus on those plans in a distraction-free environment, it really allows us to focus on what's important. Take away from this, when you look at these 2 devices, if you are looking for a larger screen, color and backlit, the Paper Pro is probably best for you. But if those things really don't attract you to that device, the RM2 is still a very high quality device. It still has all the same great writing features and software that you're going to see in the Paper Pro. I'm Brandon Bonifer, creator and founder of the Key to Success Planner. If you want to learn more about that, go ahead and follow this channel. Godspeed.